Hello and welcome to Cinematography Podcast, where today we're not going to walk you through the entire movie. No. We're going to try something a little different here, aren't we, Hayden?
Ironic, really, because the
Yes.
film, just like the film, will crash and burn.
So, we're going off script. Well, everything but this bit. This bit's on script because, I've got to try and remember stuff. I ain't fucking remember this off the top of the noggin.
You've done.
Exactly. So, we're still going to, sort of break key moments down, but we're not going to sit here and go, and then he said, "Oh, look, over there, a bird."
Well, Tom would say that, whereas I just sit back thinking, what the fuck's going on? Oh, look, Twitter.
Basically, this essentially is it's one big overall. Instead of that small section you get at the end of the old Chatco videos, the whole thing essentially is going to be an overall.
It's an analysis.
Basically, yeah. It's an analysis rather than a narration.
Anything with Tom's an analyst.
I'm sorry, what?
Get it? Because analysis has the word anal.
You too busy looking at Hugh Jackman's bum, weren't you, in this movie?
Maybe.
Sounds about right.
So are you. So are you.
Touche. But yeah, so obviously we're going to go through like the movie, the characters, the score, the acting, all that sort of shit we usually go through at the end, just throughout, and a little bit more detail.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed this goes well, and we can do this more often like this. Okay, it's a lot less work for me. Anyway, I'm still your host, Drinking Thomas Hughes.
I'm Hayden, and this is the film that's got Alex in it.
Wait, did you just call me Blob?
He doesn't watch these, he'll never know.
I feel like he has been there recently. I could be wrong. Anyway, today we're discussing X-Men Origins Wolverine. Released 3 years after Fox's last X-Men movie, which was, of course, the disaster of The Last Stand. This was released in...
You can't get any worse. Oh, wait.
This was released in 2009. And it kind of fucks with Wolverine's origin story that we know from the previous X-Men movies. Tries to do something, and though it's still part of the actual main universe, I'm counting it, and I believe Hayden sort of agrees, not part of that universe, it's its own universe like Logan, because it's continually fucking up with errors every fucking where.
I don't think it's a movie in the Deadpool movie.
Yes, I will agree with that.
Yeah.
And basically the whole plot is, Logan becoming Wolverine, and eventually fucking off, and eventually, in X1, joining the X-Men. But this is, him going from James Howlett to Logan to the Wolverine.
Yeah.
Basically.
To getting shot in the head and then becoming Logan Wolverine, not having no memories of who the fuck he is. And, like, that dead girl, do I know her? I probably boned her. Probably not.
I smell my scent on her. Nah, let's go. But yeah, this movie was directed by Gavin Hood, who started his directing in 2005. He did 2 movies. One called, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, Tsutsi, I don't know, something like that, which was received well by critics and normal audience members. And a film called Rendition, which did better with audience than critics. Obviously then did this. Some would think this would ruin one's career. This guy thought, no, I'm still going to make some movies. And he got better reviews after this, because he did Ender's Game, Eye in the Sky, and Official Secrets, which were received both well in critics and audience alike. So, at least he did better after this. Some would just go downhill, but at least he went a bit uphill.
Kind of running theme though in this film is pretty much, this is like the biggest mistake, and but most people learn from this mistake.
Basically, yeah, because obviously after this we got First Class, which went, hey, You know that bag of shit 2 movies we just did? Yeah, fuck 'em, we're doing our own thing now.
Yeah, but well, we fucked up Deadpool. Let's do Deadpool better. You can't act. Stick to music. Yeah, you'll learn from it.
I wouldn't say he can't act. It's just, you know,
I would.
for a singer, he just did his. It's fair though. He just did his usual Will I Am sort of dialogue, just about the Will I Am type of accent that he usually does.
Yeah, it was just bad.
It's better than some singers doing acting. I'll say that.
Yeah,
What's
but
that one?
it's still bad though.
Was it Madonna who did that one film? That was like, one of the worst like movies out there. I swear it was. Well, he's better than that.
Even Kylie Minogue did better in Doctor Who.
Australians though, am I right?
Oh yeah, they're much better than William.
Not Prince William. No, the guy that just spaces his name out constantly. Musicians, am I right? Divas.
I know, right? Literally.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the actual point we go off script, but I've got some little bits of information here. So, the online, obviously, ratings for this movie. On Rotten Tomatoes, this movie has 37% with critics and 58% with audiences. Obviously, both rotten because it's below 60, but essentially, for me, this movie's in between there somewhere.
I mean, it's on the low scale for me compared to the others. Like, it's not the worst film out there, but it's one of the worst.
Right. Anyway, we'll go up to the next one. We've got IMDb, which is 6.6 out of 10, which is way higher than I'd give it. Bit too high there. IMDb, knock it down a bit. We have Metacritic, which has 48 of 100 for basically the critics and 5.3 out of 10 for users. 5.3 is very close for me. Very close.
I'd knock it down a bit. But we'll find out what we decide later on.
Exactly, because you just got our early thoughts. Very early. Without actually fully spoiling what we're going to give it. Interesting.
Like drama and suspense. Shit.
Well, we could do it more suspenseful. We could just sit here and not say anything for the next like hour or so, and just randomly shit our scores out loud.
Less suspenseful and just more boring. like this film.
Yeah, but we can one up this film. We can make it even more boring.
True.
And just don't put a black screen. Just don't even put our faces there. Just put a black screen.
Yeah, we can make this film more boring. It could be Jaws 4.
Oh. Always Sunny actually referenced that movie in one of the episodes I've been watching. Yeah. Charlie Day references it as a joke, which kind of cracked me up. I was like, same thoughts as us, eh?
As those that can see in Tom's background, there's a Danny DeVito cushion. You see, we worship Danny DeVito as well as Jeff Goldblum, Paul Rudd, and Ryan Reynolds. They are gods who spend the entire time fighting the demon that is Nick Cage. And that's why Tom has been obsessing over Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Because of Danny DeVito.
He likes to see that scene where Danny DeVito comes out naked from a sofa.
I haven't got to that one yet. I don't know what season that's in. I know I've seen the clip because Connor showed me, but I haven't got to that one yet. I can't wait for that one. I'm just addicted at the moment, but we're gonna move away from that and get onto the opening sequence of this movie.
Yeah.
So obviously, this movie starts with the introduction of James Howlett, which is obviously Logan's real name, and Victor Creed, which is Sabretooth's real name. When they're both kids, he's with his dad, yada yada. Yeah. Something happens. They run away. They run downstairs. They find his dad dead, yada yada. And then he grows his bone claws for the first time. So you literally get to watch, young James Howlett grow his bone claws and then kill someone.
It's basically him manifesting his powers and learning that that Victor's dad turns out to be his dad, and him and Victor are brothers. Which story-wise, it's okay, although it does seem a bit rushed into it. But I guess they kind of have to rush into it for the amazing compilation.
Yeah, we're about to talk
scene of
about it
them.
because that is so cool. Probably the best thing about this movie.
But that and the first bit of Wade.
Yeah, those two
Pretty
bits.
good.
Basically, the start of this movie is great. It then just goes
And it goes downhill.
and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes.
So it peaks at the start and then fucking goes downhill to pit of Nick Cage.
Yeah, but at least Nick Cage knows he's bad.
Yeah, he embraces it.
He
This film
just
tries
absorbs
to
it in.
act. Yeah, it tries to act too serious in a way.
It tries to think that it's Avengers Endgame, but in reality,
Yeah.
it's Catwoman. Well, sorry, it's not as bad as Catwoman. I know I've watched this over that movie.
Yeah.
Ugh, that movie's
I mean-
dog shit.
Like that Catwoman's bad, but this film is also bad, and I'd rather watch Dark World than this film.
And that's saying something then.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's got. Well, I would say that's got Chris
Oh,
Hemsworth
good
in, but this has got
point.
Hugh Jackman in.
yeah,
Oh, two sides of a coin here.
yeah. But Hugh Jackman and Tom Hiddleston.
I mean, Chris Hemsworth.
I mean Chris Hemsworth.
I was like, wait, Hugh Jackman's in that movie? I gotta go watch it again.
Did you know? You're confusing. That's why.
But yeah,
They're the same person.
I like the fact we get to see the first time he's obviously powers manifested, because a lot of times in these movies you don't actually see like the protagonist's main first time. Obviously, Deadpool we do. Obviously, see Wade become that, but that's forced. It's forced because they do experiments on him and force it to happen. The only natural ones I can really think of off the top of my head is obviously
Angel.
Angel, yeah, that one's really natural in the Last Stand.
He scratches them out in his back.
Yeah, Phoenix in Dark Phoenix, that was quite
Yeah.
natural-ish. And Scott in Apocalypse, when he goes to the toilet and just goes, BWAM!
I was in Magneto as well.
Oh, yeah, that one as well. But I mean, obviously, we never got to see Wolverines in any of the three. It was just constantly like showing the fact when obviously he had the adamantium put in, or the flashbacks of, Striker! And whatnot. You never actually got to see at the beginning, and it's nice to actually see at the beginning him get these powers, because he's just it works for this as well, because obviously all the other ones, it's when like something happens to them, they sort of snap at a moment, and this shows the rage. It's rage that caused it with Wolverine. Rage is what made him snap and grow the claws.
And the following theme for the film is like him battling his animal instincts.
Yeah, which pretty much like its overall sort of plot instinct.
Which is why it's good that they use Victor as well to be there.
Yeah,
they're both two sides of the same coin. Like Sabretooth is when you embrace your animal instincts, whereas Wolverine's more of when you still maintain that human side.
Yeah, I agree with that. And obviously, then we see at the end of this sort of sequence. Obviously, they're in the woods, and he's like with brothers Jimmy, and it's sort of then they sort of run away, and it fades into that montage for a nice sort of fade and time shift, and it shifts into the is it the Civil War at first? It shifts into
Civil War.
Yeah,
and they purposely choose making go on the good side.
Yeah, and it obviously showcases more obviously their skills during this. And it obviously a way of showing off the cast who's in it, saying obviously putting up on the screen, which is a nice sort of montage of doing that. And obviously, as you say, it then fades like throughout into other wars. So obviously, you get World War One, World War Two, Vietnamese War. And one thing I will say about this, I like the change you get throughout it. Like at the start of this, like they're like really close. They work together. They got that thing when they're like back to back and whatnot. They're like really close. And as it goes along, you see like as you say, Sabretooth going more animalistic, and Wolverine going a bit more sympathetic. And it's like, okay, you're going a bit dark here. And it obviously all kicks off with the D-Day landing, when
Mhm.
Wolverine is obviously taking out him on that bunker, and Sabretooth's got that gun, and he's just blowing him away inside the bunker, and he's just like, "Wait, this isn't right. You shouldn't be doing that."
Yeah,
And then obviously cuts into the Vietnamese War when he's on the chopper going down that innocent village.
he's like, no, in terms of the like
Yeah,
helicopter away.
and then obviously next minute he tries to Sabretooth literally just tries to rape a woman, and Wolverine's
Yeah,
like, "Wait, what's going on here?" And obviously he finds
how
everyone fighting. He's like trying to stop him from killing his brother, and they obviously did the back to back
Yeah.
before obviously they get shot. But that
For the
whole
way,
montage is just perfectly shot. It's great.
yeah, like that bit as well when he like tries to like when he's trying to like kill these people, and obviously Logan's like trying to do like trying not kill them, but like disable them like harmlessly, just knocking them out. He's not actually killing anyone, whereas obviously Victor is slaughtering people.
Literally, he's just killing everyone.
Mm.
It's a bit of a not. I don't know how else they could have done like this sort of opening sequence, obviously to get it
Yeah.
to the time frame. I feel like they did the right thing because they could have easily obviously just jumped from him running away to them getting picked up by Stryker. I do
Yeah.
think doing this sort of a montage showing the time frame it's actually been showing how old Wolverine actually is, but the fact that the start of the montage,
Like 1800.
yeah,
Like,
and then it goes all the way to 1970s,
yeah, which
which
it makes sense.
yeah, it's better than just like a quick cut. There you
Yeah.
go. It's
And it does
70s
more
now.
than just that. It shows obviously their age and goes for them going through the wars, but it shows their relationship. It
Yeah,
shows their instincts and how they're battling. How one's battling the instincts, the one's just embracing it. But it also shows how hard they are to kill, and it makes them look indestructible. Like
yeah,
when that bit where Wolverine gets shot, and he's just like, yeah, he just like shrugs it off and still keeps on going. It shows them to be like unstoppable. Obviously is leading into the whole film. We learn not really that unstoppable. That they're hard to kill, but they can be defeated. It's pretty much just the whole point of each one trying to one up each other. You see that for the entire film, and this sets it up.
exactly. I couldn't have said it any better myself. That is literally my thoughts on this open sequence as well. It's to be fair, it's probably one of the best sort of opening sequences for a movie you can probably find.
Yeah,
Like not it's not even much going on. A lot of it's freeze frame essentially, and it just looks amazing. I love how they just like get your hopes up and then they just diminish it.
oh no, yeah.
Fox,
It
what were
starts
you
off. It
thinking?
tells you everything you really need to need. Start off does.
Exactly, it just sums up what you need to know, and then we just shut your mind off and sit back because you're going to want to shut your mind off for the rest of this. Anyway, let's move on from the open sequences to cast and characters. So I've listed all the characters, the names, who's playing them, yada yada. So let's go through this. So obviously, first off, you have James Howlett, Logan,
Yeah.
Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, of course. And the film I've picked to name drop he was in is an actual uncredited role he did, which is in Night at the Museum 3, Secrets of the Tomb, I think that one was.
Oh yes.
When he played himself, and he did the Wolverine joke, where he's like, "You want to get angry?" And he starts going, "Come on!" And he like does the fucking X-Men music and everything, and they're always looking at him like, What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, it works better with the claws here, you know." It's funny because obviously he's the guy who was obviously aiming that at is the guy who played Thingy in Legion, the TV series.
Yeah.
He was the main character of that. Fucking Dan Stevens. It's ironic because obviously he went on to do X-Men eventually, but it's just the fact that they made this like meta sort of joke within this movie of him being Wolverine but not being Wolverine. It was like the perfect sort of thing.
Like ironic because in that in itself it's more of a Deadpool thing.
Yeah, basically. And I think this was the same year as Deadpool came out. I swear Night Museum came out the third one came out the same year as Deadpool, or it was the year after. I can't 100% remember off the top of my head.
That's right. It's Deadpool.
Because Deadpool 1 came out Valentine's Day in 20...
Yeah. 20 summer.
Was it 26? No.
I'm thinking they might not be.
20... Fuck!
It's a...
Where's
James when we need him?
Where's that IMDb Google man when we need him? Oh, I'll do it. I'm trying to remember when I went to watch it. That's the thing.
2016.
2016. I think this came out 2014. What I'm thinking of. I'm putting Night at the museum.
No.
I'm putting Night and, for fuck's sake, I'm not. Where's my fucking searching guide? 2014. That one came out. So it was like
Nightmare on Elm Street.
it was before that obviously happened. But yeah, it's definitely a Deadpool joke, and it's definitely a joke worth checking out. But yeah, anyway, so Hugh Jackman's great in this film. He's probably the best part, one of the best parts of it, as he always is. Every fucking time he puts on those claws, even if they're CGI for this movie, he does a great job.
He does great with the material he's been given.
Exactly. He's like Ryan Reynolds. He does great with the material he's been given.
Oh yeah.
Green Lantern was shit, but Ryan Reynolds was good. Blade Trinity was a bit naff, but Ryan Reynolds was good. Basically sums up them as being like the greatest of the actors.
Yeah. Like they can turn dog shit into okay, except if you're Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, next character we have Victor Creed, Sabretooth, which is the second time his character's been used. First time being the first X-Men movie, which was the more animal version of him, whereas this is the more humanized version. And he's obviously played by Liev Schreiber, a great actor who was in the Scream trilogy. And I think he does a good job as well. I think he does a good job bringing Sabretooth to life. I like this rendition of Sabretooth. He's probably my second. Though I like Wolverine, he's not obviously my favourite character. You know my favourite character. We'll get to him later. He's like probably my second favourite character of this movie. I love his rendition. I love the he's not like a full bad guy, but at the same time he is a bad guy. Yeah. Because he has these moments where he's like a bit of a villain, a bit of a knob, but eventually he's like, you see at the end sequence, he's like, no one kills you but me. He's like great.
Ironic because he kind of acts like an anti-hero in this entire film, and the villain of at the end of this entire film is the anti-hero.
Exactly, they basically switch to the roles. Exactly. But I think Liev Schreiber does a good job of Sabretooth.
Yeah. No, then the problem is that his rendition obviously a bit of confusion to continuity with the X-Men film, but obviously there is a game which explains this, like why he's different. Like, say he go for like a similar project to Wolverine, and it made him more like Buffy and like Sabretooth in the film, but forgets his memory's completely gone.
See, though I did like the version from the first X-Men film, obviously they went with more the comic trying to resemblance with that. This makes sense because they didn't really go with comic resemblance for a lot of characters in this film, so it made sense the sort of look they went for with his character, the sort of the aim they went for with his the way he was acted out and whatnot. And
it's more for a character.
Yeah, it fits more perfectly into this movie, and I do like it. Then again, I like Liev Schreiber. He's a good actor.
Yeah,
he does well. Again, he does well with what he's given.
He does that sort of like even like there are some like lines that are a bit cheesy, but
this whole movie's cheesy.
Yes, it is.
Talking of cheesy, we've got one more coming up in a minute. A certain person you were slagging up before recording.
Yeah. Oh god.
So we got John Rafe, played by William. Yeah, from the Black Eyed Peas, and one of the voices in those films, Rio. Yeah, the ones with the parrots.
Yeah. Why the fuck do they use William?
I asked you that last time off recording. I went, why? Was this like when he was he big, really big at this moment? I can't remember. And you're like, I think this was like when he came off the back of Black Eyed Peas, and they're like, oh yeah, let's get this guy. He's a cool character. It's a teleporter, which makes sense to get to the final plot. And I do like that. I do like the look they go for, that sort of cowboyish look. It literally looks just like the character from the comics.
Yeah.
But it's Will.i.am is mediocre. He just plays John Rafe as if he was Will.i.am.
Which is just Will.i.am with a Texas accent.
Basically, yeah. I'm going with you, Logan.
A really bad Texas accent.
Okay, so we'll move on from Will.i.am. We have We have Kayla Silverfox, who's
Yeah.
played by Lynn Collins. She was in John Carter. Yeah, that box office bomb, which wasn't actually that bad. Her character for this, obviously, is just essentially the love interest for
Yeah.
Wolverine. Pretty much just sums her character up.
She's more of a generic love interest, though.
Yeah, just there to roll the
Yeah.
plot along into its second phase of the movie.
Yeah, and to confuse Wolverines and wolves.
Yeah,
Two very different animals. Let's confuse them into one.
yeah.
Yes, Wolverines. They howl at the moon. Yes, makes sense.
Yeah, didn't you know that? I thought you would have known that, Hayden. Jeez.
I know.
Get with the
Who would have
program.
thought Wolverines and wolves are the same animal? And they're all called Cuckoo Pachu.
Okay, next one we have Fred Dukes, the Blob, played by Kevin Durant, who I really enjoy as an actor. He was in the series The Strain, which is a great series. And a little fun fact for you here, Hayden. He did the voice of the Black Knight Ghost in Scooby-Doo 2.
What?
He did the voice of the Black Knight Ghost in Scooby-Doo 2.
Oh my god.
Blob did the voice for the Black Knight Ghost, a podcast we did last year.
I had no idea that Alex's voice.
I saw it and was like, I've got to point that out because that's a great little fact and that'll blow your mind. He's a good actor. I love Kevin Durant. He's been in loads of stuff that I've enjoyed. Obviously, The Strain. What's that one? It's a film called. I think it's a film called. It's not that film, but it's a film. I remember a film called Monster Hunter. It's not the game one. It's like an older one. But it's like it's based on sort of like a myth in England, but it's set in America. So it's an intriguing film, I will say. Anyway, next one we have Chris Bradley, Bolt, played by Dominic Monaghan, who was in Lost. That's where obviously he became really famous.
Mm-hmm.
His character basically controls stuff with his mind.
He's a technopath, basically.
Yeah. I thought I'd done it down.
His entire role in this film is to fix an elevator lift to pretty much just
fiddle with light bulbs.
And to show that Victor's killing the mutants. And that's it, really.
Yeah.
Well, looks like he is.
So they got a big name actor to go, hey, get rid of him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, next we have David North, Agent Zero, played by Daniel Henney. He was in Big Hero 6. He played Tadashi.
Yeah.
And his character is basically, as you said earlier on, is just a guy with guns.
I got a gun!
Who does some flips. Basically got like, sort of pinpoint accuracy, sort of.
He's just an asshole with a gun. That's his character.
Basically, yeah. That sums it up better than I could.
Hawkeye was a prick.
Yes.
And lost his bow.
Yes. Pretty much. Obviously, we have Wade Wilson, Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds, the best.
Starts off amazing.
And then downhill.
Goes fucking downhill.
Obviously, we covered him last year and we did Detective Pikachu.
Yes.
I named up loads of his stuff, but I did not name drop the movie Life, which he's in for about 25 minutes.
Yes.
He's like...
That Venom ripoff.
Yeah, the one people thought was Venom. But I still liked it. I thought it was a good film. Intriguing. For the fact they got a big name actor and just duffed him off very quickly. Huh. But yeah, obviously, again, he does well with the material. At the start, he shows off his skills. Later on, he's just there literally just for the looks. But I've read that the close-up shots, like when he's doing, he's obviously in both, I presume, the start and finish. The close-up shots obviously was Ryan Reynolds to obviously get the look so people know it's him. But like when it's all like the jump flips and whatnot, that was bastard, what was his name? Scott Adkins, an actor from Sutton Coldfield, who was one of the bad guys in Doctor Strange. Do you know the one that they shot to death?
I remember, yeah.
That was him. He does all like the sort of stunt work for this character.
What is it with that actor and having diamonds on his eyes?
Who knows? Anyway, we also have Colonel William Stryker, this time played by Danny Houston instead of Brian Cox, like in the old ones. Danny Houston was in Wonder Woman. Essentially, he's just an asshole government guy.
Yeah, like he is in X-Men too, just not as old
or British, because
Yeah.
Brian Cox is
He's
British.
Yeah. Yes, he is. He was. Obviously, he did that thing in Top Gear.
Yeah, he was in. He was actually the first Hannibal Lecter as well,
Ooh.
before Anthony Hopkins. Sir Anthony Hopkins, sorry.
Oh.
He was the one
Wow.
before that. He did Manhunter, and then they decided to lamb and got the great Sir Anthony Hopkins to play him. But yeah,
Oh.
fun fact for you there. And last but not least, the last main character, my favourite of the movie, Remy LeBlanc. LeBlanc.
That was okay. That was the character. It was so. He's your favourite character. You can't even pronounce his name. You're that starstruck.
Because I said LeBlanc instead of LeBeau. But yeah, Gambit, played by Taylor Kitsch. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. He was in Battleships.
Yeah.
He's my favourite character. I just love everything about his character. Obviously, I would have preferred the more Cajun accent, like the animation, like more Cajun. Obviously, he gives a little bit of Cajun, but not like full Cajun.
More of like a Texas kind of accent.
Yeah.
Really.
You can sort of have the hint of it every now and again, but as you say, it's more Texasy than proper like Cajun, like
But
it really is.
It sounds like a proper Texan accent, unlike
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But I think with his bits were good. Like
Yeah.
I liked the look of his powers. That's what the CGI is pretty good.
Yeah, the CGI there's great.
Hard floating, the little like the Wonder style like energy around it,
Yeah.
and then the whole like cool ninja shit that he does.
With his staff.
Yeah, running up the walls.
I don't know how he got onto that roof so quick.
That makes no sense.
Out of nowhere, he ran up he was on the roof running towards them, but it wasn't he next to him like a minute ago.
I thought I was knocked out by fucking.
Yeah, he was. He was not, it makes no sense, but he was set up.
He just had an adamantium fucking skeleton just knock him in the head, and he gets up like a few seconds after.
Well, he's banged Rogue many times, so he's got to be tough as nails. But yeah, he's a great character. Obviously, I found some interesting pieces of information when I was getting these names up. A lot of these actors have worked together multiple times before this and after this. They got Hugh Jackman and Kevin Durant. They were in Real Steel, the boxing one.
Oh yeah.
They were both in that as sort of opposites again. Kevin Durant was a bad guy, whereas Hugh Jackman was the good guy. Taylor Kitsch and fucking Lynn Collins were in John Carter together. Obviously, Taylor Kitsch was the main character of that. Ryan Reynolds, you're going to see a common theme here with the next actor I'm going to say. Kevin Durant were in a film Captive together. Kevin Durant and Dominic Monaghan were both in Lost together. And Kevin Durant and Danny Houston were both in Robin Hood together.
Yeah, and obviously Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have this running feud for the entirety of this reality of life, just going around trying to one-up each other.
Pretty much.
Trying to bully each other. Do you remember that bit where Ryan Reynolds is that lovely, happy, like, birthday video? It's, like, really nice. But before that, Hugh Jackman was taking the piss out of him.
Yes.
And he was like, what? Why would you do that? I was being nice.
Yeah, I remember that. There's a load of other sort of ones that have worked together. I just got a few that I picked out, and a lot of them were Kevin Durant because he's worked in pretty much most of the cast. But yeah, moving on then, we'll move on to story. So I pointed out I've got the.
Can you find it? I can't find it.
There's 3 points to this story that I broke it down. So the start is a team up.
Yeah.
So the Team X.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the middle, which is Sabretooth hunting, obviously the team, and Logan becoming Wolverine. And then you got the end, which is basically a revenge movie. Yeah,
pretty much. It's basically 3 movies in one, which is a bit jam packed. It's like they're trying to push all the they look for the comics. They go, oh, this story is good. This story is good. I like your story. I like your story as well. Let's squish them all together into one film, and it's unnecessary. It feels like the entire film was filler. There's unnecessary characters that they put in, and it's just not done good at all.
Nah, not at all. I agree with that. As literally said, there's 3 parts to this movie, which is basically 3 stories right there.
Yeah.
Obviously, this team, which is like very brief, which obviously I'll point out when we go into the action bits in a bit, the
Yeah.
coolness from that team up. Then I say got the Sabretooth going around basically picking off the weaklings of the team, getting rid of Will.i.am for us, and getting rid of fucking the useless, not needed character of fucking just there to lift the lift up.
Yeah.
And obviously then we got the only epitome of the middle bit, which is obviously Logan becoming Wolverine for the first time.
Yeah.
It's the only good part of the middle bit. And so then the end is literally just, you killed my girlfriend. I don't think they're married though. It's a girlfriend, wasn't it?
Yeah, girlfriend.
Oh, I'm gonna go get revenge now.
Oh no! The girlfriend's alive the entire time. She was evil. Wait, she's not evil. She's good. She's dead.
It's pretty much like a sort of run of the mill sort of plot. It's very mediocre.
Yeah, very generic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm glad they upped the ante with the next two Wolverine movies. They
Yeah,
didn't really go generic. They went with an actual cool stuff. Which is
Yeah.
probably because they had a good writer director.
Oh wow.
Which is probably why.
Yeah. Like that. A lot of the characters they used were unnecessary. I mean, they could have got rid of William, and they could have got rid of Blob, and all they'd have to they'd need is just to have Gambit. Like, oh yeah, I escaped from that island. I can take you there. I don't need to say, oh, you want information? Talk to Duke. You want information? Talk to Gambit. Unnecessary characters to do that. It's stupid.
The only good thing, obviously, we're having some of these characters is the first time we got to see a lot of them on the big screen, like Blob. It's literally the first X-Men movie he's been in. He was going to be in the first ever one, but they wrote him. They didn't bother going through that plot. And then he was in Apocalypse for that one scene when he's unconscious, getting dragged away.
So and they also didn't they in the X-Men Last Stand they had a character that made it look like it was a Blob.
Yeah, but it wasn't Blob.
But there wasn't.
Yeah, I know what you're trying on about. But yeah, it's obviously the same good thing about that is that even though it's this character's just there just to go, oh yeah, it's an experiment. Go.
Yeah.
It's the first time we get to see Blob, and it's quite interesting. Plus, I think it's quite funny for the fact that obviously he's got a tattoo at the start when they're like, geez, you only just met her. He's like, I love her. Yeah. And then later on, obviously when he's really big, she's like massive on his arm. Yeah, I do love that. That was quite humorous.
There are some good jokes in the film.
Yeah, the one I did like was the one with Danny Houston's like, I do this for your country, and he goes, I'm Canadian, and walks off. That was quite humorous.
I feel all the best jokes come from Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, at the start.
He's the pinnacle of the comedy of the film.
But yeah, so a sum up is literally the story's mediocre. Mediocre and a mess.
It is a mess. The entire film is basically filler.
Yes. That sums it up better.
Stupid.
Film is just filler there.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, boom. Anyway, move on to the next point I got, which is cinematography.
Yes.
Which has its moments, which is okay. Obviously, the intro sequence, the montage at the start, that's good. Sort of.
But the Wade fight scene was good.
Yeah, the Wade with the blades is good.
The last shot with the bullet and it splits off and kills some more people. That was filmed good, but it's not as good as the Deadpool 2 scene where he does the exact same scene but fucks up and keeps getting shot anyways.
Basically, yeah. See, this film's got some good moments of cinematography, and it has some moments and you're just like,
what the fuck was that? Like the generic scene where Logan walks off and the helicopter blows up in the background.
I feel like they watched Iron Man the year before. I feel like they watched Iron Man the year before and went, hey, let's just do that. Because you're not a superhero without walking away, without looking back and without looking at the explosion. Which is why I love the other guys when they did that, and it obviously hit them, and they're like, how did they do that in movies? It makes no sense. But you literally can't be a superhero without walking away from an explosion. So they had to throw it in there somewhere.
They did. Okay.
But yeah, the cinematography is sort of mid-card. It's mediocre. It's got its pros, it's got its cons. Like this whole movie.
Yeah.
It kind of sums up the thoughts. Mediocre.
Yeah. And some of the good bits are completely ruined by the awful CGI.
Yep. Ugh. Which we'll get to in a bit.
Yes.
Because before we have that, we have the score to talk about.
We do.
Which is, again, very generic.
Yeah.
There's nothing spectacular about it.
like in Avengers, you know, you can recognise the Avengers skin. Iron Man
Yeah.
skin. You can recognise Captain America. You can recognise Thor. You can recognise some of the ones in DC. Like, and then you've got this one. Do you remember any of the music in it?
To be fair, I couldn't hear half of it, which is my own fault because the first 40 minutes I had to watch really quiet because I watched it way too early this morning, and big speakers have to turn it down. But I mean, the second half of it when I could actually hear, it was very generic and very meh. There wasn't much to it that stood out to make me go, "Oh, that's a nice tune. I dig that." Heck, I was playing The Walking Dead before we did this recording, and I was recording the next episodes of that, and there's a tune in that, and I was like, "That's a good toe tapper. That is like a really tense sort of tune." And then you watch that, and it's like, there's nothing really there that makes you go, "That was cool." Oh yeah, boom. Oh my god, that's such a good score. It's literally just poo.
Do you have the scene when Thor enters Wakanda?
Yeah.
The music just helps you get that anticipation. And then when it happens, like, oh my god, yes. And then that's completely in this film. There's none of that.
Yeah, there's the tunes in it, but there's just this. As I say, it's just too generic. It's too. What's the word I'm here? Shit. Is that the word I'm after here?
Hit the word.
Yeah. Score. Shit. That sums it up. We'll move on then to special effects. Oh, shit. Because special effects in this were, as I say, shit. Case in point, the scene when Wolverine's in the bathroom, when he first, obviously, he's having a good look at his claws. They used fucking CGI for the claws. They did 3 fucking movies without CGI in claws, and then they fucking CGI claws for his solo movie, where he's the fucking full focus of this film. I like the humour of the scene when he's obviously breaking the bathroom, but the fucking sequence just fucking throws you entirely. The fucking CGI of the claws, it's just like, what the fuck were you thinking there?
I even mentioned that, but I told you about how, looking at it, it looked like one of the ones hadn't been positioned properly. So one of them looked quite short than the other. I remember, even as a kid, I was like, what the fuck is going on? What they've done to him? I thought, are they just saying that because Victor broke his claw, it's going to be smaller? It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's
just... I ignored that bit.
Yeah. See, there's some CGI that's okay in it, but then the majority of it is just dog shitting. Like the stuff that's the actual full focus. How you say the Gambit CGI? That's fine. That's really good. That looks really cool.
Yeah.
But then there's that's not even the focus of the movie. The focus of the movie is Wolverine, and they couldn't even get his claws right.
It's like Blob. His practical effects was really fucking good.
Practical effects was amazing on that.
But then they added the CGI to him, and it looked awful.
I mean, the blob when he's punching.
That just ruined it.
They just fucked up. That just sums up this movie, though. They fucked up.
Had a good premise, but they ruined it all.
Yeah.
And in the CGI, they didn't need to do it.
No, they could have done it practical, the old ones. Fuck, the old ones are even older than this. This is 2009. The old ones were 2000 to 2005.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And if you think about it as well, this came a year after Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I think in Iron Man, the CGI was a lot better than any of this.
Exactly.
And that was the first ever MCU film where they wasn't quite sure it would take off.
And the humorous thing with that is that's not even Disney doing this, paying for that. It was Paramount, wasn't
Marvel Studios. Yeah, Paramount Marvel Studios.
Yeah, it was like a joint thing between them.
Disney.
I was gonna say it's pre-Disney.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until fucking after Avengers Assemble that it went Disney. So that's when all the big bucks came in for CGI, even though they fucked up in a certain film.
What certain film's that, Tom?
People know which fucking CGI scene I'm on about. Technically, they did it twice.
A lot of time. There are some moments when the CGI can be a bit bad, even in Marvel Avengers. Hey, you guys are so screwed now.
Yeah. Oh god, that looked awful. Not as bad as this, but awful.
But there are at least they have. Every film has their moments of that CGI was kind of bad.
Yeah, but this
But
a lot of it. It's like only as I said, the only sequence that's good is Gambit. The rest of it's just
yeah,
dodgy as
like
fuck.
the opposite of all those films. Those films have some scene, like one or two scenes where the CGI is bad. In this, it's one or two scenes where the CGI is good.
Exactly, is the opposite effect.
Like, even the fucking logs, the CGI logs that fall on him.
Yeah.
Even that was fucking awful.
Basically, special effects dog shit. Moving on then to action sequences. So there's fucking loads for this movie. So the first one is obviously the Team X versus the drug cartel, which is a decent action sequence because obviously shows off all these characters' powers. So obviously you have a Blob putting his fucking fist through the tank to blow it up, showing obviously his strength.
His strength, like his durability.
Yeah, you got Sabretooth run up the side of like a building, showing off his obviously running skills. You got the agent showing off his gun skills. You got William showing off his teleporting skills.
Just being fucking amazing.
You obviously got a few sequences of showing off Wolverine, which you don't really need to show off that much because you're gonna get that for the rest of the film. You've already before this, you obviously got to see fucking Dominic Monaghan's character showing off his skills when he's flying the plane with his mind. But obviously, then when they go inside, you do get to see Wade's skills with that sword skill, which is obviously one of the best parts of this film. Is when he's obviously slicing all the bullets, and as you say, he sliced that one bullet in half and takes out two. It's just
right at the end. Okay, people are dead.
Yeah, that whole sequence is amazing. I just love every part of it. It's, as I say, it's literally probably the best sequence of this film. That and Gambit, and that's saying something. Only two sequences are standout sequences. I can't really fault this fight. It's a good, brief, but obviously there just to show off characters' powers. It does its job, and it does a good job. I liked it. And obviously then the next sequence we had, which was Logan versus Sabretooth, their fights in the bar. When Sabretooth's like, oh, you got insurance this place? And this guy's like, insurance? And he goes, oh, you're basically screwed. And obviously then he sort of has that brief battle where it showcases both sides. So it showcases Logan's actually a lot weaker because he obviously isn't like fully in training as he used to be. And Sabretooth's still at his upper hand. But it also shows Logan has this aggressive side, which can give him the upper hand when he obviously... He actually stabs Sabretooth and tussles a bit more. But it still shows that he's a bit still weaker than Sabretooth when the fact he stabs him and throws him in front of a fucking truck.
Yeah.
It just shows it.
There are like scenes about with Logan and Victor. The whole point is Victor's like physically stronger, whereas Logan has like the stronger healing ability. Because that's like hinted, like at the start, when they're about to get executed. He says to him, "Wake me up when it's over."
Yeah,
that's like to show that like Logan will heal quicker than he will. And that's like a little sort of start, like a little hint at it. To the reason why, in the end, why they couldn't use Victor, they had to use Logan because obviously Victor wouldn't survive it, whereas Logan would.
Exactly. They even say that themselves. They even when he asked to do it, they're like, "No, you won't be able to survive it." And he's like, "I can do whatever he can." He's like, "No, you can't."
Like it's hinting, they start off hinting at it, and that's the whole point of their relationship. Is like he knows, like even though he might have the more animal instinct side, he still would lose to Logan if Logan was to go in same as well. So both same instincts, Logan would win. One, his claws are bigger, but also like his healing is a lot better as well.
Exactly. It's probably like the best fight these two have in the movie. Because this is obviously pre-claws, and it's more obviously, as you say, it showcases the time difference it's been since they worked together. It shows obviously the different scales of Logan being a bit weaker, but also still strong. Where Sabretooth is still that strength, but he's still weaker when Logan gives in. It's probably the best sort of fight these two have, and obviously then you get the Weapon X bit, which moves on when he bursts in and has to fight the military off, which
that they're going to like basically erase his mind.
Yeah, they're going to get rid of everything. So it's just essentially just this blank slate who can do as their bidding. And though it's obviously there's not much action here, it's literally just him taking out a couple and just jumping off a cliff butt ass nude.
Oh yeah,
Just a bit. Just it literally sequences just to show off Hugh Jackman's ass.
I mean, wouldn't you though?
You got to chuck it in there somewhere. So there's not really much you can talk about with this scene. But the next scene you can, which is obviously the farm scene, when obviously he meets that the elderly couple and he befriends them.
Yeah, the Kent family,
as you like to call them. Obviously shows off his CGI claws, breaks the bathroom. But then obviously it's the morning after when they're talking, him and the man, and they're like, "Oh, here, have this jacket on." They're like, "Oh yeah, sweet jacket." They're like, "Oh, take my bike for a spin." Obviously his wife comes in, and his wife gets shot by the sniper, which is obviously the agent, as you said, the douchebag with a gun.
I like it on the douchebag with a gun. He even says like, "Oh, Logan got Weapon X just killed 2 innocents, even though it was him who did it." It shows that he's got that like petty like hatred for Logan that they've been harboring the entire time they were together. They were all like a team. Obviously, he doesn't want Logan to live. Really, he wants to kill Logan. You can see.
Yeah.
He wants to make it seem more like he's unstable. He's going around slaughtering people just so he can have a reason to put him down.
I feel like that as well, because obviously if they're on comms, if someone else is listening, if he says, "Oh, I've just killed someone," it's going to sound bad. But if he obviously blames it all on Logan, then they've obviously got full authority then to blow the living crap out of him.
Obviously, it's not just Logan as well. Obviously, they want the general who's there to think like, "Oh yeah, this is a normal weapon." Like they want to think like they're being shady pricks.
Exactly, which they are. They're being the shadiest of pricks. And obviously, he bursts through the barn because they blew up the barn. He's on the bike, racing. He's taking obviously all of them out one by one. You know, a decent sequence. Obviously, he fucking ends up taking out the chopper by flying at it because they blow it up. They blow up the car he's on. They think, "Oh, we've got him," and he comes flying up and just blows up the chopper by chopping through the fucking blades. And the guy's like, "Oh shit!" And he obviously just crashes and fucking burns. I thought it was a decent sequence. Obviously, there's been better sort of military versus superhero sequences, but I think he does a decent job of showcasing his new strengths he's got.
Yeah, the adamantium.
Yeah.
And then right at the end of that, he goes, "Haha, look, sparks fly."
Yeah,
and then
fucking walks away from the explosion like a cool badass.
You know,
like every superhero. That's
like
when you know you've become one.
Every action film ever.
Yep.
Even those that were not superhumans.
Exactly.
They walk away from explosions.
Obviously, then
they do walk away from explosions.
Exactly. Obviously, then they move on to the Wolverine versus Blob, which is obviously a sort of boxing fight between.
It's more of a comical.
Yeah, it's literally there just for comicalness, for the fact that.
Look at the fat guy.
Even though he didn't say Blob, he says the word Bob. It shows that he's a bit. It shows that he's a bit dumb. Blob. Because obviously, shows at the start he's a bit dim. It shows you here he's dim for the fact they mistook him saying Bub for Blob, and obviously they beat the sort of crap out of each other, which. I say it's more comical. It's a humorous little fight, which leads to Wolverine that thing when he just runs at the corner, jumps off the top rope, and fucking just wallops him on the fucking head, just to get information out of him. Which is obviously that. Oh, there's an island. Go speak to Gambit. There you go.
Speak to Gambit.
He's literally just there just to push the plot even further along.
And also, he's to show Wolverine that he can use his skeleton to add strength.
Yeah.
Obviously, realizing he got more defense now. Like obviously in the first X-Men film, when when that guy punches his knuckles, obviously he breaks his knuckles, not Wolverine's. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's obviously setting up. Oh, I remember when something similar that happened in the first X-Men film. It's the only thing similar from the first X-Men film they've done.
Exactly. And obviously, that then moves the plot on to when they meet Gambit, the best character in this movie, and he's showing off his card skills, but at the same time, Will.i.am's character is getting murdered by Sabretooth. In that interesting, obviously, I did like that sequence. Obviously, he's got his spine; he keeps shifting in and out.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I can feel his spine."
Yeah, and obviously he snaps it. I do like that sort of the shifting in and out, the phasing. That was quite. It kind of reminds me of like sort of Reverse Flash's hands sort of going through someone's body. Yeah. It reminds me of that. just without the hand going through. It's actually the person's normal hand getting stuck within a shifter's body.
It's always good when you see a character, you don't know why, but it just pisses you off. Die. It's like in Harry Potter when you see what's his face? Edward. Who played Edward?
You're talking to someone who knows less about Harry Potter than you.
No, the one who plays Edward in Twilight.
Oh, Bob Patterson.
That guy, yeah. When he dies in Harry Potter, Cedric, that always makes me laugh because even though it's supposed to be a sad moment, I just saw Twilight die.
Why are you bringing up that fucking film every fucking time recently?
I don't know.
I'm gonna break lockdown to murder you.
Oh, I'm gonna tell Boris fucking Johnson on you.
I'll duff him in too. Anyway, obviously, Wolverine is blasted at the wall, and obviously sees Sabretooth. He sees the body, and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And Gambit comes in, he fucking just knocks him out, and then obviously begins this fight between him and Sabretooth. The second time these two have fought. Again, it's more of a briefer fight than the last one. It's more just to show off his shiny claws because he's like, "Ooh, shiny." And then it just had that Gambit moment. He runs across the roof out of nowhere, even though he was unconscious about 5 seconds ago. And just flip off the building, show off his fucking staff skills. Literally, he's just there just to allow Sabretooth to run away. And it's a very weird moment that you get really cringed over.
I mean, if you think about it, like Gambit wants Victor dead because he kidnapped him. So what's he gonna? This person's about to kill him. I know. I'm gonna stop him from killing him. Why?
Because Gambit's never been smart. Look in the comics and cartoons, he's never smart. He's just someone who's just a Cajun who bangs rogue and plays with cards. That sums up his character. He's a cool character though. It's just obviously it's a shame they didn't ever use him again. Obviously, we were gonna get a solo movie with Channing Tatum weirdly playing him, which they cancelled. So hopefully we get another incarnation within an X-Men movie at some point because that'd be interesting.
We are doing because I think we are doing like the X-Men in one of the phases.
Exactly. So it'd be nice if they brought him into it as like a main first timer X-Men rather than like fucking later on. Sometimes it just gets a bit boring to seeing the same sort of group come together because both prequels and sequels is literally the same sort of team. Which made sense for them, obviously, because they're timeline-wise, but it'd be nice if Marvel went in a different path and brought in a different sort of team, per se.
We probably will. If you think about it, like, in the classic, obviously in the Avengers, the team had started off with Ant-Man and Wasp as well.
Yeah, and they obviously switched that up in this version, yeah.
They had their own little, like, differences in the relevance of the comics. And obviously, in the Spider-Man films, they don't actually show the origin. Because they know it's been done before.
Yeah,
so I think they probably won't do that.
We can't see Uncle Ben die a third time.
Oh my god, yeah.
Eventually, you want to die?
It's like seeing fucking Bruce's parents die like 12 times.
The only time that's ever been done good was fucking Batman vs Superman. It's the only other time his parents died if ever been seen good. For the fact it was in a good montage. In what, sorry?
One in Joker was good.
Yeah, the one in Joker was good because obviously that made sense. It was interesting for the plot for it to go down that path. But I mean, I think the BVS version is probably my favourite version they've done.
I don't think anyone's ever said that about that film.
BVS is a misunderstood movie. Watch the Ultimate Edition and you'll understand. Anyway, obviously the two sort of get into this fight now, Wolverine and Gambit, and obviously Gambit does that thing where he does his tricks and climbs the fucking the steps, obviously on the fucking fire escape, and Wolverine does the fucking weird thing where he just says cutting through the steps to bring it down, which you said is very cringy. And obviously, eventually, he does it enough for it to break and him to collapse, and he's like, "Oh, we're on the same team here." It's like, "Oh, okay, we'll team up then."
Okay, we'll team up.
It's just the fact it's Wolverine's face as he's like cutting through. He's like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." Oh, fuck me. Obviously, then the next fight after this is Wolverine vs Sabretooth again. after Wolverine finds out his girlfriend's alive, he's been bullshitting to him. Sabretooth's now trying to kill her, and he somehow has enough time to take his jacket off, have his tank top ready to go, to then charge at him. I don't know how he had enough time to go, thinking in his head, okay, do I go back and save her? If so, do I take my jacket off or not?
Yeah. Although I guess it's not as restricted. But it makes sense from a logical standpoint.
It's just humorous that the fact he had time to take his jacket and everything off to come back and see his tank top.
It would have been cool if you saw as he heard, it just rips it literally just quickly rips it off or something.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Brings it off.
Yeah. Obviously, again, this is not quite another sort of brief fight where obviously Wolverine wins at the end. And he has a choice of killing him or not, and it's a mixture of Gambit being fucking Sabretooth being the devil in his ear saying, "Go on, Dewey, kill me right now." Whereas obviously, yeah, she's telling him not to, and he's just like, "Okay, you're right," and just obviously knocks him out. And then that leads to a certain scene where a Deadpool appears.
Can we forget that bit?
Well, I'm going to talk about the bit before it first when he rescues the kids, and obviously he's cutting through all the locks, which was quite cool. That was quite an interesting sequence. And then obviously he meets fucking Wade. No, weird. Every time I watched that, I was expecting Deadpool to appear behind him and shoot him in the head like in Deadpool 2.
I had to watch that bit after the film just because I need to refresh my mind.
But yeah, obviously they sort of battle it out. They're having this little fight on top. Weirdly, on top of fucking like a smoke stack, like a chimney, fucking on a nuclear power station, which is an interesting end fight location. It's sort of different to what you'd usually see. It does make sense for how it ends. So
yeah,
obviously there's this little fight. Actually, he shows off fucking Wade's fucking black lines, the diamonds around his eyes. Showcasing his mouse actually sewed up. Stupid decision. Obviously laser beams now in his eyes because he's got the powers of fucking Cyclops. He's got the fucking shifting ability of Will.i.am. And then on top of that, he's obviously got blades in his arms because that's meant to be like his blade, but it's also meant to be the powers of Wolverine at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously when it's all pretty much game over for him, fucking Sabretooth joins in, and the two reminisce and did the back-to-back finger from the start when they're both watching Wade flip over at him, and Wolverine's like, "I've got him." Sabretooth's like, "No, you don't," and he just flips over. And now this obviously quick sort of battle where fucking Sabretooth just gets annihilated at one point by fucking laser beams, and eventually fucking Wolverine's claws get that fucking heart. It allows him to cut fucking Wade's head off, which I'm assuming that's down to that. I'm assuming it's not because he's adamantium claws. I'm assuming it's because how hot they've got now. That's what's aided him in cutting the head off.
I think I can't remember. I'm pretty sure they did bond his skeleton with adamantium. Wade's.
Well, it would be because the blades in his arms adamantium.
They put those in, but I know. I think his whole skeleton's like adamantium. So that's setting up obviously the plot point in Wolverine, where if you superheat adamantium, it can cut through non-heated adamantium.
Yeah.
A little plot point, obviously, that gets used in that.
And obviously they did the fucking the Darth Maul falling down like a giant fucking stack. But this time the laser beam's cutting through the stack, so then they can just drop it. And that sort of ends a sort of bromance between Sabretooth and Wolverine. They're like, we're done. And he's like, we're never done, Jimmy. We're brothers.
We're never done.
I don't know why I did a Stallone accent then.
Fuck you.
I don't know why I did a Stallone sort of we're never done, Jimmy.
I would have loved like the Jelly Thanos scene where one took everything from you. I don't know who you are. I would love that with Victor at the end, right, time to kill. He goes, I don't know who you are, mate.
Pretty much like
Who are you, Bob?
Okay, then that pretty much sums up the action sequence. It's got a mixture of decent and just these really quick sort of action sequences. Which
we got some good decisions and mostly bad decisions.
So it's basically like meh again.
Yeah.
Okay, Hayden, take the floor, editing. Talk about the editing.
Editing is okay. There are some moments that can be quite like a lot of the action scenes, like specifically the Wade scene, like the way that was shot and the way it was edited was pretty good. They had the right amount of fast pace to it, but he wasn't so fast that fast cuts that you blur into the motion. It was a bit like Kingsman, the church scene.
Yeah.
The way it was edited was a bit like that. There was still some cuts than there is in that one, but there was that kind of flowed kind of well. And then there were other scenes. A lot of the time, the pacing, the editing, the way they've done it, some scenes are done too quick, and some scenes are done too slow, and it just like some parts just become confusing and like what the fuck is going on. And then the slow parts, like, can we fucking do something, please? You're boring. I don't want to hear a story about a fucking moon and a wolf when we're talking about Wolverine. Two very fucking different animals. So yeah, it's like a lot of the transitions are just boring as well.
The only good transition really is the fucking the opening into the fucking montage. The only good transition when they're running.
Done brilliant, and then everything else is just dull. Really, it's just meh. That's the best way to explain it.
Yeah, it's basically just like everything else we've said. It's just meh.
Meh.
Which basically sums up my question of pacing of the movie. You've pretty much summed that up there. So meh again. The production design looked decent. A lot of the sets looked quite good. Like the barn, the set, and just a lot of the sets in general looked quite decent to look at. They looked real.
The Weapon X lab scene obviously looked very similar to one they used in X-Men 2. They sort of fit well. I mean, obviously the lighting was different, but the set seemed similar at least.
So one thing they got right was production design. That's script. The script's alright. I think what they've got, what the cast can give, and I think they did a decent job making it sound good and not shit.
The script itself could have been better.
Yeah, the story part of the script could have been a lot better, and I think that some of the dialogue obviously could have been improved. But I think for what they did script wise, I think they did a decent. Like the actors at least did a decent job bringing it to the screen and not making it sound really cringy.
It could have been worse.
It could have easily been worse.
Been way better, but it could have been worse.
Basically, this sums it up to the extent.
Not the bottom of the barrel, but it's pretty close.
So, last up before we go out rating, the ending. Because obviously at the end, Wolverine and Fox obviously walk away, and he gets shot with the adamantium bullet from fucking Stryker, and then gets shot multiple times before he does that trick where he runs up and jumps off the fucking that weird fucking positioned bit of debris, and then gets shot in the head, and then gets shot in the head again, and he's down for the count. And Stryker obviously walks away because he tries to shoot Fox on the floor, but she obviously, even in her death state, she touched him and says, "Walk as far as you can until your feet are bleeding," and he just walks off.
And then keep on walking.
Even though he instantly stops when someone calls his name.
Yeah. I think that
broke the trance.
I think that was done to show, like, the bleedings, like, his feet is bleeding. He should keep on walking, but she didn't say, like, don't stop.
Yeah, I agree with that. And obviously then we do see Gambit before he runs off to go. He runs to Wolverine at first, and Wolverine's like, he's like, "Oh wow, you destroyed everything. Okay, what are we doing then?" He's like, "Okay, go help the kids." So obviously he heads off to help the kids, doesn't he? But then he finds
look, some weird bald guys taking away.
Yeah, I don't know why you ran away after seeing some strange bald guy in a jet with these kids. Surely you'd go, okay, I'm gonna go and help those kids. Because surely you'd think he's clearly kidnapping them. Surely that's gonna be your first thing to think in your mind is, they're good kidnapping these kids. Fuck, I better save them. But
I just realised something as well, though.
What?
we didn't mention when we mentioned CGI, the quite
De-aging.
bad de-aged Patrick Stewart.
Oh, it's not the worst de-aging I've seen.
Yeah, but
But for
they tried to
for
de-age him.
2009,
It's a bit blurry. Like,
yeah.
mm,
For 2009 de-aging, it wasn't bad. Obviously, it's been done better
yeah,
a lot now. It's been improved a lot with Captain
Samuel
Marvel
Jackson.
and
Yeah,
whatnot. But I mean, for 2009 de-aging, it wasn't too bad. But
yeah,
him walking makes no sense. We pointed that out.
yeah.
He's
That
walking.
makes sense.
We obviously you pointed out, oh, maybe use the injection, but then we both were like, no, you can't have used the injection for the fact
Yeah.
that he's using his powers because he was talking to Scott. It makes no sense him being able to walk. That's just completely fucked up everything. It's an error.
It's shown that like he has an injection thing, which obviously allows him to walk, but it stops his powers from working.
It's just
So
stupid.
you can't walk and have powers.
Yeah, you can't eat the cake and eat the cake. Did you say fuck a duck? Okay, you can't eat the cake and fuck a duck at the same time. You have to do one. I myself choose to fuck the duck.
You don't know which one Alex is choosing. The duck. In a funny manner.
But yeah, obviously this makes no sense, and obviously then at the same time, when Wolverine eventually wakes up, he's completely lost his memory, which sort of fits into the original timeline because obviously he has no memory, so it makes sense. That there makes sense. Obviously, he meets Gambit again. He has no clue who he is. Gambit says he's Logan, and obviously he's seen the Wolverine tag, and all he knows now is his name's Logan Wolverine, not James Howlett.
Yeah.
And it literally just ends with him just running off while Gambit runs off to his plane, I'm assuming, and flies away. So, it's a bit dicey, but I do like the fact they kept up the memory loss. They explained. They fitted it in nice. That's good. And obviously, we have 2 end credits. Obviously, one with Stryker getting caught and arrested, even though, as you say, he somehow gets his job back and does the same stuff again. And then obviously one of Deadpool just telling everyone to shush because he's ahead and he's alive.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like you mentioned about how the whole him using his memory. Like obviously, as I mentioned off cam before we recorded, was that I could sense like a theme of all the whole part of the Wolverine trilogies is with each film they weaken Wolverine. In this film, he loses his memories, so it's shown that he can't be killed, but he can at least like have his memories wiped, and that's basically the same as killing him because all of his skills, memories, everything of that person that was James Howlett is dead. Now it's just Logan. Then the second film, obviously, they show that his healing abilities can be removed. They can be like suppressed and inhibited, so he can't actually heal and he can be killed. He can have his claws cut off, and then the timeline changes, and then all that's gone. But obviously, in the third, in Logan, they show that even his powers itself can naturally fail, and he can die. Because obviously, in Logan, he dies. Spoiler alert. So
God damn it, Hayden.
Everyone's already fucking watched it. Come on. I mean, if you haven't watched Logan, but you've watched Deadpool, you've had it spoiled for you.
Exactly.
Anyways, so
pretty much
deal with it.
But yeah, I do like the fact it's set. The end credit scenes make no sense. They're just there, just.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know why they're there. They're just there. But I do like the fact they tied it in with the first film with the memory loss. Mm. That's the good thing. So yeah, let's give it a rating. So I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna be a bit nice. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I said it was mediocre. It was meh. So slap bang in the middle for me.
I would have given it a 5 as well, if there was some better continuity into it. At least, like, if at least it kind of fit better in the like whole original like timeline, I would have given it a 5. But because it doesn't, it nigs on my mind slightly, I'll give it a 4.
Okay. So that gives X-Men Origins Wolverine a Chest Cave overall rating of 4.5. So
it might have had even higher if it didn't have William.
And his bad accent. A quick question of the day is, how would you fix this?
In 2 ways. One, I would remove most of the characters because a lot of them are unnecessary. Obviously, never use don't use Deadpool if you're going to ruin him. So just leave Deadpool alone and let the films show how it's done. I would definitely like most of the characters weren't needed. I would just kept it with just Logan, Gambit, Striker, and Sabretooth, and Silver Fox, and just kept it just them, and built the story around there. But I would also not straight away have Silver Fox and Logan date straight away. I like the idea of them having some kind of a fling, but it doesn't really happen until after the Weapon X project. Because I kind of want an idea where what if his memories were wiped there and then, and it's afterwards he goes all animalistic and wild, like in the comics. Straight afterwards, he goes straight to the like instead of like still being the same kind of person but with no memories, he's like an animal, literally like pure instincts. And from in the comics, he goes and like joins a wolf pack and becomes an alpha of that wolf pack in the comic. But I would like the idea of him stuck in the animalistic like mode, like we see in Dead Future. It's Apocalypse, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you see him like just being an animal now. I would like to see that part of it, but I would probably do it in a way where like Silver Fox helps him to become more human. That sort of sets him up to be wise like he's in the first film, and then set up the fight between him and Stryker, and like have 70 but don't have Deadpool in it. Like the fight between him, like Logan and Victor instead, and like, ends with like I think Logan winning and Victor looking like he's dead, and then it shows Stryker who obviously again that we'll do some kind of thing where Victor kills Phil Fox near the end. It's not Stryker does it or whatever, and have the bit where
She dies a bloodlust, doesn't she?
yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
I think like Victor's the reason for why she actually is dead, and give him reason to why he tries to kill him, and thinks he's killed him. But at the end credit, instead of being like walking away or Deadpool, the end credit is obviously Stryker finding Sabretooth's body and thinking, "I'll heal you up" and whatever, and obviously come with a new project to like in the games, reason for why Sabretooth is different in the film, in the first film, and sort of set up why they both have no memory of each other. To at least say, both show like why they've changed, why he's now got black nails and black eyes in the first film and not in this film. And also, don't use walking Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I agree with all that. Yeah, I agree with all that. Good answer. So that's it for Check Out Podcast this week. It's a different one. We're going to try this again next week because I think this is a very more interesting way of doing it.
Yeah.
But next week we'll carry on this Wolverine journey as we take a look at The Wolverine, a much better adaptation of a Wolverine story. But until then, I've been your host, Ranking Thomas Hughes.
And I am not going to watch this film again. God.
Fair enough. And this has been Chat Okay Podcast, bub.
Oh, God.
I don't know how you can get bub and blob confused.
What have you seen, Alex?
Touche.